Hello and welcome to the Cutie Art Crusaders, episode 135 for February 10th, 2015. My name is Rainbow Plasma. I'm the host and organizer of the podcast, and today I'm joined by...
Burn1, the special guest coordinator.
I'm FlutterGuy317, and I'm the media manager and probably the editor this week.
And I'm Atmospark. I'm the other guy.
You do the questions
Yay.
and DeviantArt. You're important.
Do the DeviantArt.
and stuff like that. So we have a very special week. We've got a packed news section that we're gonna have to get through. But first, we have a very special guest. So Bernd, why don't you formally introduce our guest for this week?
This week we have a fantastic guest, and actually a good friend of another guest who we've had a few weeks ago. This week on the show, I think we have our very first street artist and digital artist, but this week on the show we have ShinodaGE, I believe is how it's said, or ShinodaGE.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Hello.
how do you say it? Is it Shinoda or ShinodaGE? What do you prefer?
Shinoda, or you can call me Shino for short.
Shino, I like it.
Ah.
But yeah, thank you for coming and doing the digital horse show with us.
Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, we're all big fans, and like I
And
know
we're all
like
horses.
way back when we started the show, we actually like saw some of your like graffiti, and you were like the brony graffiti artist that like anybody knew of. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So we've got a couple of things to get through before we start your formal interview,
Yes.
your professional and totally prepared for interview. So I'm gonna try to rapid fire some of these because there's a lot of stuff to go through. So first of all, I want to give a special shout out to Nobin. She sent us a note last week. If you remember, last week I mentioned the fact that we got her pronouns wrong, and people kind of got on our case about it. So she actually sent us a note saying, thank you for clarifying that, and she was, she was just very nice about everything.
Yeah.
She said thank you for featuring her art, and it was just wonderful overall. So it's great. People should definitely check out her DA. She's obviously a great person.
It's always nice to hear from artists. Like, oh man, it was awesome hearing you guys talk about my work or like critique it and stuff. And like she mentioned how we talked about color too, and how, I don't know. It's humbling, I always love
She
hearing from artists.
complimented us. It was so nice.
Yes, she was very nice in her note, and it's always awesome to see that. So thank you very much for doing that. Second thing, we actually like a long time ago, we received this first CAC fan fiction, and I think we mentioned it on one of the podcasts.
Yeah,
we
we
never
did.
really did anything with it. Well, we might have to start doing things because we received a second one.
We're
and
gonna
I
do
actually
CAC
don't-
fan fiction readings on the YouTube.
I
It's gonna
don't
happen.
actually have the
Yes.
the person's
Southfur.
DeviantArt name.
Yeah,
Southfur.
Southfur.
Sorry, Southfur.
South
Yes.
Dash Fur, right?
Yeah. They've
Anyways.
sent me a couple of notes during the week, but I haven't had a chance to read it yet.
Anyways, thank you very much for making the interesting fan fiction about us. I'm not sure if they've put it up anywhere online or whether or not it was just sent to us in particular.
Sent to us
but it
in
was-
a note so far, I think, because it's a.
Yeah.
Is it a WIP? Is it a work in progress? Is
Yeah,
it?
I think it's a work in
Maybe.
progress. But yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's 6 pages long, which is pretty impressive. So,
Yeah.
so yeah. So another thing. So recently there was a little game that was put out. It's like a little puffball game that you could go in, you could modify to have characters and interesting phrases and stuff. Anyways, it's a really, really cute game that our very good friend Silver has made for us. That's basically the four of us in cute little puffball forms. So we're gonna have a link to that where you can go check it out. It's a fun game that we've been playing for the last couple of hours because it's adorable.
I'm
and cute.
playing it right now.
So yeah, go check that out. It's super adorable.
It's so cute.
And it's one of the cooler. Sometimes we get a lot of art, submissions into us fan art and stuff, and that's really awesome. But occasionally we get these really cool custom things. I know we had a clay thing done of us,
Yeah.
And this is a really cool game that's made with our little characters, which is
I want that
super
little
adorable.
clay pony version of myself. And who made that? It was
And,
Kitty or something.
I'm trying to figure out
Yeah.
how to put that game on that page, but I can't do it.
I'm sure you'll figure it out.
Yeah.
That'd be
And
sweet.
finally, the last piece of news, we're going to end on a little bit of a sad note. Last week, as people probably don't know, but I've been a huge fan of Rooster Teeth for almost a decade, and I've kind of started dragging along some of these other guys as the whole Let's Play channel has gotten bigger, and unfortunately, one of their members, the lead animator of Ruby, and I don't remember what his position was
Red vs.
on their
Blue,
show.
he was
Red
lead
versus Blue.
animator.
I believe
he was.
he was still lead animator.
Yeah.
He passed away. Monty Ohm passed away at the age of 33, and it is very sad news, as he never directly affected any of our lives, but he created some amazingly creative things, and if there's something that we feature on this show a lot, it is amazingly creative things, and he was definitely special in that regard. So, just a special shout out to Monty and the rest of the Rooster Teeth gang for an unfortunately sad situation.
Last Monday, they tweeted out to honor Monty, go do something creative and produce something creative and some kind of content. So here's
I'm like halfway through drawing something for him.
Aw.
Yeah. So, yeah. Anyways, on from the sad news and on to the good news. We have our special guest, Shinoda, who's been patiently waiting by as I've tried to ramble through all of these points. Anyways, hi, welcome to the show.
Hello. Hi.
So, we always ask this question to everybody who comes on, and nobody's prepared for it, and I'm not sure anybody's given a great answer. I think we've had one or two really great answers, but I'm sure you could give us
We had
an
one
answer
answer that was just like
answers.
on top of it. I forget.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
So, for those who don't know you or what you do, maybe have never heard of you before, who are you and what do you do?
I am that guy who paints pony graffiti. I don't know.
Hey.
Hey.
Okay, but you're not just known for that, right? Like, you do some other stuff as well, right?
Yeah, but that's the most popular thing I think on my gallery.
Right.
Well, like on your DeviantArt, when you first started posting, it was mainly the street art. It was mainly like the pony graffiti, right? And that was kind of like your claim to fame. I mean, that's how we knew you at first, you know?
Yeah, I used to be more active. Now it's I mean, I don't know. It's a long story, but I will be back on street art soon, or hopefully.
What's keeping you from the street art? You in school or something right now? Something keeping your time?
No, actually, no. Family, let's say. It's a long story. But yeah, I will be back on street art once I move to my own house and all that stuff.
Well, I look forward to
Okay.
seeing more graffiti ponies.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know that we featured one of your graffiti ponies. Was it in an episode or was it like pre-show?
It was in an
I
episode.
can't remember. It might have been
I think.
one of our early episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, a long time ago, like years ago, we featured one of your pieces. It was a Lyra piece that I'm desperately trying to look for.
I think we might have featured it in our Show Accurate episode, possibly, which was our first episode. Maybe not. Our second episode. I can't remember.
God,
Anyways, I'm
it's literally like more than 2 years ago. Like,
Yeah, it's a long
Yes.
time ago.
It's very true. And I actually don't have the link for it
was-
because I am a horrible scribe.
I think I
have
can grab
it.
it. Do you got it?
Yeah.
It's the Lyra and pants, right?
Is there right there? The hands at last one.
Where'd you link it?
Here it is.
Where did you just
Oops.
paste that?
There you go.
Sorry.
Thank you, Shinoda. Yes, and one of the reasons why we featured this was because the original vector that you kind of used to paint this
Kirid.
was made by a friend of ours, Kirid.
Yep.
So it was really cool, and I think that's the reason why I saw it at first, because Kirid looked at it and said, "Hey, look, someone spray painted my vector." And so we took a look at that and we went, "Wow, that's really cool. We've never
Legit.
seen MLP done in this kind of creative way."
And
So,
that actually got a daily deviation on DeviantArt.
Yes.
Which is really cool.
Yeah, it did.
Wow.
Dude, nice.
Yeah.
That's really cool. That's really, really
Way after we featured it. But yeah.
cool. So we discovered it first, is what you're saying.
Yes. Put on the
OG
hipster glasses.
horse School.
Because you were getting, from what I hear, you were getting permission to do this, weren't you?
Not really. I mean, the thing is, this is not so illegal here. It's kind of allowed if you paint some stuff like this, like more like mural, like more colorful stuff, like not only your name in graffiti letters, or painting, houses or places where you are not supposed to paint. Like I can paint on public places. That's pretty much it.
Okay.
Right. And like you said, if it's a mural, if it's obviously artistic, then people don't mind.
Yeah. It's mostly about that. Like unless the piece upsets anyone, like any neighborhood or something, I'm allowed to paint.
Right.
That's pretty much it.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, where you're from Argentina, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So there are some spaces, and I'm not sure about the States, but I imagine that there's probably spaces down there as well. But there's spaces in Canada where kind of it's designated by city, where they basically pick an ugly wall and they say, hey, graffiti artists, go do whatever you want on this wall. And you kind of get this massive flocking of amazing artists who come out and create these fantastic murals. And it's kind of like a safe space for graffiti artists. So it sounds like this is a little bit like that, except it's kind of anywhere that is
Countrywide.
an okay place to.
Yeah.
There's a lot more spaces for you to be able to do this stuff.
Yes.
So how did you get started doing this kind of thing? Like, first of all, like, how did you get started with spray painting? But then what really motivated you to go around and start doing these huge pony murals?
Brushy stuff.
Yeah. Well, first of all was a friend of mine got into graffiti because of another person who got into graffiti because of a video game, actually. And my friend got
Was it
me.
Jet Set Radio?
No, it's Getting Up. It's called. It's a really good game.
Okay. Had to ask.
Then what? Wait, I got lost. Oh, yeah. So my friend got me into graffiti too, and that's pretty much how I started. Then I've been like trying to get better for like 2 years or something. Got kind of tired because I wasn't really like. I never really liked to paint just graffiti letters like everyone else does. So it's like that wasn't my thing. I wanted to do something different, something that nobody else does. So like after 2 years, I started painting characters, more like TV show characters and internet memes too.
Okay.
So that after some time of that, then I found ponies, and that's when I got into pony, and I really felt like painting a pony. So I did. And so on. Then I could never stop.
That's really cool. That's
Yeah.
really, really cool.
It's really interesting because some of your early pieces that you painted, you kind of worked with stuff that was already there. Like there's this crazy Twilight Sparkle graffiti, where I'm guessing that the letters already existed, or did you also put the letters down there?
Wait,
I think
you mean no, that's actually that I painted that too. That was
Okay.
That was
Yeah.
like my, let's say, I don't know how to call
Signature?
it. Kind of, yeah, something like that. It was like the graffiti that I mostly painted before characters. So I was kind of known for that graffiti. So it was like painting the same thing everywhere, just because of doing it. And then I started adding ponies to them and stuff like that, like here. Like this.
Yeah.
Right. And then I guess eventually you just started making just ponies by themselves.
Yes. Yeah, it suddenly happened. I don't even know how, but it suddenly happened.
Yeah, well, I mean that's kind of like our life stories, Every single one of us, and I'm sure a lot of people who are listening to the show as well, you start getting into ponies and all of a sudden it's like it just kind of happens.
this is my life now.
And suddenly my mouse pad has ponies, my shelves have
And
ponies.
then every single
my
week you're on
clothes
this
have ponies.
ridiculous show talking about ponies, and you're in your
My podcast
your
has
weird
ponies.
pony pajamas,
Your pony headphones that you put on your pony plushies.
and everything is right in the world.
Is there really anything other than ponies, though? That's the question.
Yeah, yeah. So how long have you been, like, when did you start doing the ponies? It was a couple of years ago, right?
Yes, like I don't know, like almost 3 years ago, I think, something like that. It was like in the middle of 2012, I think.
Okay. So funnily enough, just around the time that we started doing this show was about the time, I guess, that you started doing your graffiti. Well, that's really cool. That's really cool. And you can see the progression too. I think some of the interesting things is when you go through an artist's gallery, you can kind of see their artistic progression where they start out and they're, you know, not so good, or maybe they're decent. There's something there, and
They're
then
learning
they
is how
keep
you
going.
Should, how you put it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they kind of learn over time, and you can kind of tell through your graffiti art pieces as well that you kind of start out and it's doing a lot of pieces that aren't like that are of other people's drawings, and you start adding your own in, and it's kind of like a progression.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Yeah, like you like a lot of in some of the original pieces, you know, it was like screenshots of the show or something, or it was like art that existed, or like it was like Kirid's vector of Lyra and stuff. But then eventually it started becoming a lot more original. Like there was one that really impressed me. It was I'm gonna link it here for you. It was Always Dream. It was the pixel art one, and it was
Yes.
huge, and like you had like your little layout of like art there. Did you have to make that like the pixel art yourself and like all the little bricks and all that kind of crazy stuff, or how did you go about making something of that size?
Actually, I've been thinking about painting that wall for like 2 years before this.
Yeah.
That wall was on my way to school, so I was looking at that wall every day, and I was always like, I have to paint something here. It has to be some pixel art, something. Even before Pony, I actually wanted, my very first idea was to paint something related to Mario Bros. And Sonic or something like that.
Okay.
So when after some time, I went there and it was like, I have to paint ponies here. Like I have to paint the whole wall with ponies. So I did. Also,
Awesome.
I mean, even if these designs weren't they weren't mine. I mean, I know a little bit of pixel art, so I kind of like edited a little bit of stuff on. I mean, I made all the design first on computer or with pixel art and stuff, and then I just
Right,
went and
right.
painted. It was a lot easier.
Yeah,
It's really
awesome.
interesting because on your Facebook, you can see this kind of like a progress, like a work in progress or timeline of the painting. So it's pretty cool, and you can kind of see. I guess it was your design that you guys were going off of with the piece of paper and the
the
pixel
mock-up.
number. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a guide to help me, because it was this piece was very different to paint like I usually do. Like I usually have follow some steps in order to get to finish a picture, but for this one I like started from the left and went all the way to the right, so that was like really hard, because if I miss only one little cube, I could easily just ruin everything else. So I had to be
Yeah.
I had to be really careful with that.
Right, yeah. So some of these pieces that I'm noticing seem to be quite tall. Maybe it's just the photos, but how do you end up, like, for example, let's go back to the Lyra one. That seems like it's a very tall area. Like, how do you reach all the way up to the top? Do you bring a ladder with you? Do you bring equipment? Like, what kind of equipment do you bring?
No, I usually have only my paint and brushes, and that's pretty much it. Some food too, but nothing more than that. I usually when I have to reach high places, I just step on my paint. How is this called?
Paint can or
Yeah, but they are not cans. They are kind of paint cans. So I step on them.
paint buckets or
Yes,
whatnot.
Tins.
buckets.
Yeah.
Paint buckets. So I step on them, and that's how I do it.
Nice.
Cool.
Very efficient.
Cool.
Yeah, still the one of the pixel art one, was really hard. Really high. So I had to get a bigger paint bucket for it. So that one was really high.
Yeah.
How long did it take to do that one? Like from start to finish?
I think that was like, let's say, I don't know, 15 hours during 3 days, I guess, something like that.
Wow.
Oh wait, no, there is. Oh no, never mind. I thought I put it on the description. No, never mind. Yeah, around that. That was pretty much it. And it took a lot. Well,
I imagine.
yeah.
So is there anything, you were mentioning that you want to get kind of back into it soon, but is there anything that you really, really, really want to draw? Like, is there something that stands out and you're like, I want to put that somewhere? Like there's a piece or an idea that you had?
Right now, not really. Because actually, my ideas comes after I see the wall. So that's kind of how it works. And right now, I don't have any wall in mind, so it's like, I don't know. But yeah, that's pretty much how it works.
Oh, that's really cool. So you see the wall and you kind of like imagine what will fit here or what will work here.
Yeah. I used to have like a kind of list of places of walls that I've seen sometime, and I was like, okay, I have to, when I want to, the day I want to go to paint, I have to go here or here, stuff like that. And actually, wait, oh yeah, about the idea, I just remembered. I don't really have anything planned for now, but the next time I get to paint something, I want to make something different, something new, kind of like, my latest ones, like the one in the corner, the button mash one, with that kind of 3D effect, or like the one before that, which was some kind of breaking the fourth wall one.
Twilight crawling out from under, something like that. Pinkie Pie's grabbing, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of, I like to play with the how do you call this? The environments.
Environment, kind of perspective a bit, or at least in the button mash one, you played with perspective. It looks like.
Yeah.
So
the fun thing, I guess this is a little fun story, but the breaking the fourth wall one with Pinkie and Twilight, that was actually painted over a previous one of your pieces, right?
Yes, sadly.
So what happened there?
It got painted over. Let's see. I have a picture somewhere. Oh wait, do you have any?
Well, here's the one that it originally was, right? It was a Pinkie Pie picture that says "Your smile makes me smile."
Yeah. Give me a second. There's some picture of it painted over. This is how it looked, and that was pretty much one of the. That was really sad, actually. It got pretty much all covered, and I don't know. I like one day I was like, oh, I know where to paint. I'm running out of walls, and then I remembered this one, and I had to paint over it because I just couldn't see it like that. So I wanted to paint something again, and
yeah.
It's kind of like the almost how would you put it? I don't know. It's like kind of the nature of street art and graffiti, where, it's like it's a wall and it's a public place, and there's, I don't know, people out there, and it's just like, just getting painted over almost seems part of the, like, natural process, or life, if you will, of graffiti, you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's, sadly, it's a thing. We between, like, graffiti artists everywhere, it's like, that shouldn't actually happen unless you have some kind of war between, crews. But that doesn't happen here, so it shouldn't happen, like getting painted over. But yeah, it still happens. So
I feel like it's almost a thing of like respect. If you see someone has put so much effort into this big thing, it's like don't paint over it. They've already kind of claimed this wall. So.
That's why. Around here, the council will paint big murals on like highway walls and stuff because people won't go and tag over some nice big piece of art like that.
Right. Yeah.
That happens. But yeah, I got used to it with the time. It's like when I saw one of my pieces painted over, it's like it's kind of sad, but it's like okay, it happens. I will paint something over it sometime, or maybe I can fix it, or. Depends.
Yeah. like you said, it's kind of the nature of the beast there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of a unique concept to it too. I mean, like the sad fact is sometimes it does get tagged over, but there's kind of almost like a silver lining to it, or like a bittersweetness to be able to go back over to it and like paint something else new, or you know what I mean? It's kind of like an ever evolving form of art. You know, there's a saying my art teacher used to say where it's like nothing's sacred, and like that goes for your art as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like that.
It is still sad though.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It happens.
So moving a little bit away from your street art, let's talk a little bit more about your digital art. So more recently, but over the years, you've also been practicing your digital art as well. So what got you started on that?
What do you mean?
Oh, well, like how long have you been doing digital art? Like, were you doing it side by side with your graffiti, or was it something you did after?
No, it was actually I started into digital art even before graffiti, but it wasn't nothing really big. Like when I was like 11 years old, it was into making silly stuff with pixel art, and those were really random stuff. But I kind of learned from them, and then I started using Photoshop and all that stuff. But yeah, when I got into Pony was more like the time when I started like trying to improve and everything, keeping it going.
Right. And I guess your experience in digital art helped you with your graffiti art, and your experience in your graffiti art probably helped you with your digital art as well, right?
Yes, kind of. But yeah, it helps.
Well, I mean, you can kind of see, again, that progression we were talking about in your DeviantArt gallery, where it was like kind of mimicking vectors and stuff. And then you started out making some like nice digital drawings and some vectors. And then from that point on, you started doing a lot of digital art and like a lot of characters and busts and just drawing all your own unique pony stuff. And then at that point, like there isn't as much street art, but that's when your awesome ones like the button mash one and the breaking fourth wall one. And then one of my favorites too, the Earth Without Art is just eh.
It's so cute.
I really like that one.
Yeah.
And like that looks like a unique sketch of your own, isn't it?
Yeah, that was made by myself. Yeah, that was pretty much because I got kind of tired of copying someone else's piece. Like I was trying to imitate show style and stuff. So I kind of tried to make some unique stuff on my style and things like that.
Yeah.
Well, it's goddamn bloody adorable.
She's so cute.
It's very, very cute. Yeah. And it seems like, I guess, as your graffiti art has kind of, slowed down a little bit for one reason or another, your digital art has kind of increased more, right?
Yes. Yeah, it's. I have to do something productive and creative. It's like I can't just not do anything. So it's like I stopped making graffiti, but yeah, I'm now practicing more on digital and stuff because I have to do something.
Yeah, and you can really. I think the cool thing is you can really. People should go check this out, but in every single, whenever you look at an artist who is a really, really good artist, and you are one of them, Shinoda, you can go and look at their gallery, and there's kind of this tipping point where suddenly something clicks with an artist, where they go from, this kind of, good foundation art, learning art, into like their own unique style with good practice, better kind of shading practices, and so there's kind of that point, and I guess I'm starting to see it around I'd say early 2014. That's when it kind of like took off. So was there some sort of like event that happened in 2014 that kind of kicked it off, or did it just kind of all come together?
I don't know. I think it just happened. Yeah, it happened. Yeah, I don't know. I think that was... No, never mind. No, I have no idea.
Well,
so
recently you've been doing a lot of these streams with Agamnensar.
Yeah.
where you guys will draw together, and so I'm sure that has helped a lot with both your and his drawing abilities. And I know you guys run streams like, what is it, every week basically?
Yeah, every Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah. So why don't you tell us a little bit more about those streams? So like, what are they? Like, I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who don't get the opportunity to watch those streams. So what do you guys do?
Yeah, we pretty much draw together, like together on the same canvas, and we take requests and have a lot of fun during like all day, like 10 hours, sometimes more. And that's pretty much it. We take requests.
I gotta say that's really good motivation for drawing, is to be able to draw with friends
Yes.
at the same time.
Yes, it is. Also, I mean, for me, it's a really important thing because Agamemnon is not only my friend but also one of my favorite artists since like 2012, and it's like I mean, we started talking and stuff. Now we got into this project of the stream and everything. It's really, it motivates me a lot and inspires me too and keeps me going and making art. That's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
For those listening, we actually did an interview with Agamemnon, and if anyone's interested, you can go back and check that as well.
Yeah. Also, one of the Cutie Art Crusaders was just recently on one of those streams.
I was. I joined them last week actually. So if you're listening to this, I guess after it comes out, I guess it was on the 31st of January. I joined them just because I had nothing to do that day, and so I came by and I said hi, and you guys held me hostage and told me I had to draw something. So I ended up helping them color in some of their amazing drawings that they made. I'm nowhere near to a point where I could even ink the sketches that were done, but it was fun. It was a lot of fun, and people should definitely check out those streams. How often do they happen, and when do they happen again?
You mean the next stream?
Well, just in general, like they happen once a week, right?
Yes. Yes, once a week. Sometimes even more, but that doesn't happen that often. But yeah, every Saturday we are like we stream, unless we have to change schedules or something. But yeah.
Check it out.
Yeah,
Yes.
but it's also like, it was funny because Bernd was asking earlier today. He's like, "Oh, well, when's the stream on?" And I answered with all day, and it's true because it's on basically for 12
All day,
hours
every day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, not every day. Good Lord, that would...
Oh my goodness, that would be crazy. That'd be crazy.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about you. You're probably more experienced than I am, Shinoda. But after that 10 hours that I spent with you guys last weekend, my wrist started hurting because I wasn't used to drawing that much, and all I was doing was coloring in stuff.
Yeah, that always happens though. Yeah, it's normal. I mean, yeah, after 10 hours of just drawing non-stop, it happens. We always end up like really exhausted. How do you spell it? Pronounce this word?
Exhausted.
Exhausted. Yeah.
Exhausted?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll always end up really exhausted and stuff. So.
So
The wrist pain is a serious thing.
Oh yeah, wrist pain absolutely is.
Yeah.
So I got the opportunity while I was on the stream to ask Agamemnon how you two met, because you two both started this stream together, and you guys are constantly in each other's art pieces all the time now. And so at some point you had to go away, and so I asked him, like, hey, how did you guys meet? So I got to hear it from his side, but now I'd like to hear it from your side. So for the people listening, you guys are really good friends, and so how did that whole streaming situation happen, and how did you guys meet each other in the first place?
Well, we met like 2 years ago. Like when I was starting to get into vector art, so he was one of my favorite vector artists. So I remember that he was taking requests. So I asked for a request. Then a few days after that, I sent him a note for something, and let's see. I'm sorry. That's pretty much how we started talking. Like after that, we haven't talked for like some time after all those the request and some other stuff. But then, then I just felt like I wanted to talk to him, so I started like trying to talk to him more often. And I remember I used to like draw stuff, surprise stuff for him from time to time, like silly sketches or stuff. So that's pretty much it. Like we started talking, and yeah.
That is super adorable. And for the record, I did say that question so I could embarrass you. So don't worry about sounding nervous. It's perfect. I heard that it was a very nice note that you wrote him, and it touched his heart because apparently his art was very inspiring to you. And I can definitely agree because and I'm sure you know this better than anyone else. His art is just phenomenal.
Yes, yeah, it is. Yeah, that note. What can I say about that?
It's embarrassing.
Yeah, it is embarrassing.
Yeah.
Like it was pretty random. I mean, I was passing through some moments in life, and his art and other few artists' art were the thing that keep me up. Like they were inspiring me and keeping me drawing, and that was the thing that was making me happy. So I had to say thank you, and I sent him and a few other artists a note about that. Like, just a thanks for being awesome.
Well, that's really nice of you.
That's a note.
That's really nice of you.
Aw.
Yeah, I know that I understood exactly what you meant when you said, like, I just wanted to talk to him more. There's a couple people that I've met online in my life who, you kind of talk to them, maybe you send a few messages back and forth, you're introduced somehow, and you kind of know them, and there's just, you get that kind of feeling where you're like, I want to get to know this person better. And so I definitely know exactly what you're talking about there, because there's some of my closest friends who I've had that exact same experience. So I think it's a pretty common thing.
Yeah, I think it happens. Yeah, one thing that always called my like one of the things that called my attention to him was like he was always so like he never really talked too much on DeviantArt or he never leave so many comments or stuff. He like just post his art and write some short stuff, and that was all. So I was always like, I wonder why he's so quiet. I need to talk to him and see. And that was pretty much what got me to that. Also, like I remember I also noticed that he he's awesome, but back then he didn't have any fan art piece. So I was like, I have to draw something for him. And when I did, I remember he was so happy and he talked me and everything. I was like, I have to meet him. Like I have to talk to him and see why it's all that.
Yeah. Well, you two both have that kind of like very quiet aspect to you, in your personalities. So it's hilarious when, you get both of you together. Like for example, when I was on the stream, because it's almost like it kind of multiplies, and so it's like, oh my goodness, they're actually talking now. And I know we always joked that there's a CAC East division, and it's all of the shy European, Eastern European fans of the Cutie Art Crusaders. We put in Otaku AP, we put in Agamemnon, we put in Assassin Monkey. Well, unfortunately, you're not in Eastern Europe, but I'd like to think that you are amongst that group in terms of really talented artists. So.
You can be the Babs of said Eastern European Cutie Art Crusaders. That's how I think about it.
Exactly.
Well, it's really interesting watching your guys stream too, just because like you guys kind of cue off of each other so well when you're going through and drawing, and even without saying that much, it's just I don't know, it works so well together.
Well, and you guys do different things at different times, right? Like you're not all working on the exact same thing. I mean, you're working on the same canvas, but within that picture, you're not always working on the same thing at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah. Most of the times we like it's like Agamemnon sketch and how do you pronounce that word? Sketch or sketches?
Yep, sketch.
Sketch.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Never mind. Yeah, Agamemnon sketch and I ink. Also, by the way, we have also Cheetah working with us, so it's like not only us two, but Cheetah and I ink, and then we well color. Most of the times, though, because usually I'm so slow that I don't get to color anything, because I end up inking at the end of everything. So, but yeah,
It's true. It's true. I remember there was a definite shortage of ink artists when we were going through, and it was just Agamemnon and I. We needed more people inking because I'm not good enough to do it, and Agamemnon was like, I don't want to do it. So he gets you guys to kind of make it
easy,
stuff.
but
Is it though? Because I'm still awful at it.
You gotta be pretty steady.
Yeah, you gotta have that steady hand, and I don't have that steady hand. Yeah. So we asked you today to bring a couple of different art pieces to the show that you might want to talk about or that you might have good stories about. So why don't you pull one of those out and we can talk about one of those and maybe share a funny story or two.
Yeah, let's see. One of them will be this one, the one with the gift that I made for Agamemnon for his birthday a month ago. That was, let's say that was one of the best collaborations ever. I mean, it was crazy because I mean, I was while working on this, I was thinking like it's only 2 years ago. Joey and by the way, the collab it's a collab between Joey and I for Agamemnon's build, and it was funny because I mean I was thinking that only 2 years ago, like Agamemnon and Joey were pretty much my senpais, so it was like so I was like thinking now, and it's like I'm having a collaboration with Joey making a gift for Agamemnon. It's like it's crazy. It's so cool.
Yeah, it's amazing how a couple years can make a big difference, and I think one of the cooler things about having such a tight knit MLP artist community is that you can kind of talk to all of these artists and in some cases become really good friends with them, even though you might have just admired them from afar for years.
Yeah,
it's really cool. And it's such a good piece too. It's one of your best pieces for sure.
Drawing too, and it was also really fun to do because
did we drop?
For example, really references and stuff, or hiding stuff. Like they are not that hidden, but they all have some kind of meaning or something. Like you have the boot boxes or the drawings by Joey, because Agamemnon is a really big fan of Joey, like since a long time ago. And about that, I forgot to mention that. This piece was also really fun. I mean, because when we started talking with Agamemnon, I asked him about who are his favorite artists, and also asked him about his birthday. So after that, I was like, okay, I have to get some of his favorite artists to draw something for him. Like I have to get that, and I've been thinking, I've been planning on this for like 3 months or something, or no, maybe even more. Like I don't know, I've been waiting for this for so long, and I was like, Agamemnon is going to love it. I just knew it. And it was awesome. I'm really happy that Joey also accepted to work on this, and he was also really he was glad to work on this too, because he also admires Agamemnon, and he really likes his art and everything. So it's a gift.
That's awesome. It's adorable. We've seen that before where it's just like one artist really likes another artist and then that artist likes the other artist. Like there's been a couple artists we've interviewed where it's like, oh man, like I love that artist's work so much. I look up to her. It's like, man, she just said the same thing about your work. Like not just the other week when we interviewed her.
Yeah.
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 That happened.
I do love the inclusion of Agamemnon's Joey Darkmeat style piece in the background up on the wall there with Derpy blowing bubbles.
Yes. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. I put a lot of, like, pretty much almost everything here has some kind of meaning or something. Like, that piece, the one on the background, was, it's an edit version, it's an edit version of the picture that Joey made and that Agamemnon edited, and that's it. Then I used that one in the frame. That one was also originally drawn by Joey, and Agamemnon made a vector of it, and that's why I put it here too.
What about the tiny love heart?
What?
There's a tiny
little
love
love
heart
tea?
in the
Yeah,
right.
that's the tea bag, and the heart is, it's kind of like a thing we have between us. It's like we always like play with like we usually like draw hearts or stuff like that. We play with that all the time. Like when we draw together on the application, on the streams and everything, and I don't know, it's a kind of like a thing, like the heart and that little line next to it. That's kind of like a thing.
And then is that a spider in the flower plant saying, "Oh hi"?
Yes, that's
tiny.
Yeah, it's really tiny. That's another thing too. We were talking that Agamemnon used to like he like you will never find a spider in his room because he kills them all. And so I was like, okay, I have to put some here.
So it seems like there's a lot of like, really good like personal references between the two of you, like on the books and things like that. That's really sweet. That's really sweet. Awesome. Well, yeah, no, it definitely looks great. Do you have another piece that we might be able to talk about, or that you have a funny story about?
Well, let's see. I was thinking about the button march graffiti with Agamemnon, but am I talking too much about him?
No, that's fine. Go ahead.
Yeah. Wait, where's the link? I can't find the link.
Is it this
Okay,
one?
I got it for you. Or Ted's got it.
Oh,
Yeah,
There you go.
thank you. Yes, about this piece, it was a really big challenge, and also, yeah, back then when we were starting to like we were talking, but not that much. So I was like Agamemnon wasn't drawing that often back then. He was like, for some reason, he was stopping a little bit, and I was like, okay, I have to. I want him to draw something again. So I had this idea of drawing some kind of 3D-ish graffiti on a corner for some time. And I was like, okay, I want to. I have to have a collaboration with him. I want to. I also love his style and everything. So I was like, I have to do this. Yeah. So I asked him about this, and we worked on this together. We started talking about ideas and everything. And one thing is that it was the first time that I draw something like this, because this was really hard to draw. Like if you look at the work in progress pictures, you can see how different it looks from the sides, and that was really hard to get right. And yeah, I remember that Agamemnon was kind of like, "Are you sure you can do this?" And that got me so nervous. And that was that was great. But yeah, it ended up looking pretty good, and I'm really happy with it. And Agamemnon really likes it too. And I don't know, it's just one of my favorite pieces ever.
It definitely turned out awesome, and it's just like making it look awesome from directly looking at it. Like that's the challenge, and I think you nailed it.
One little problem I have with this is I couldn't take a better photo than this one. Like I wanted to take a photo where you can't see, you know, the different lights on the corner. Like it was so hard. I mean, I spent like 3 hours sitting there waiting for the sun to move. But even so, I had those trees next to it, and I couldn't take a better photo, and that was so. Like I mean, that was also a really cold day, and I spent like 3 hours there, and I couldn't take it right. But yeah, besides that, I'm really happy with this picture.
How do you go about laying out, say, this graffiti, for instance? Do you kind of just eyeball it, or do you kind of do some undersketching first on the actual wall that you're working on?
Yeah, I usually start with I sketch it on the wall, then I start like I color, I fill it first, then I do lines and everything. That's kind of how I do it. Then I draw the background in the middle of the process, like, depending on how everything else is going.
That's really interesting. So you do all of the fills first, and then you put the outlines around it.
Yes.
Is that how you do your digital art as well, or is that just something that's particular to painting?
Yeah, no, that's just something for painting. It's a lot easier, I think, because I mean it's like I can just fill it and then I go and you know, put every line where it goes. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, it's easier. That's pretty much how every graffiti artist paints, I guess. I'm not really sure, but that's a thing on mural and graffiti.
Cool. I didn't know that, actually. That's a really fun fact.
Yeah.
Have you ever had pieces where you started either too small or too large to kind of fit into the canvas that you were working on, or like the wall that you were working on, and you had to kind of modify it afterwards?
Yes. Let me find which, because I don't remember, but I know it happened. Like I always spend a lot of time trying to make it fit. Like I usually draw a few sketches over one over another and stuff on the wall. Let's see, I can't find any. But yeah, it usually happens. That's another reason why it's easier to paint all the fills and then the outlines, because the outlines it's like it fixes every little mistake that I make. It's the best way to fix it.
Right. I guess if you were to do the outlines first, it'd be really you'd have to be really, really precise when you do the fills to not go over the outlines.
Yes, and that will take a lot of time.
Yeah. Whereas with the outlines, you can kind of cover over the edges of the fills.
Yeah.
Yep.
And this is why you're doing it, not me, because you're smarter than me when it comes to that stuff. Although that probably comes from experience of doing it over time. All right, so is there any other pieces that you have any stories about?
Well, I actually wanted to mention this one, another collab too, with an artist from Germany. Let me find it. The Portal ones, the Pinkie Pie Portals one. Wait, here's the link. Wait, here you go. This is one of the best things I ever done in my life.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, it was so, I don't know, it was great. I mean, this he M99 sent me a note about this, like he was planning on doing this and asked me to do this, and I was like, of course, yes, it's a great idea. But then the thing is, this is how is this called? Weight pasting. So it's not actually painting. It's not painted. So that was the first time that I've done this. It was really hard, and I had to do it twice actually, because the first time I did it turned out really bad. So I had to go another day to that place and stuff, and print another of those things and everything.
Interesting. So it's like a big poster that's stuck on.
Yes. It was crazy. Like I mean, like you can see there on the pictures that you have, you know, the inside the portals you have the other side of the places and stuff. That was all his idea. It was it was great. I mean, I had to. He asked me. He said, okay, you have to go to the walls, take a picture of the wall, then take another picture from where the paper will be pasted, and all that stuff. Then I sent him all those photos. Then he made the edits and everything. That's pretty much how it worked.
That's cool. And who drew the Pinkie Pie?
That was all made by him. He made the vectors and everything.
Cool.
Yeah,
That's such a unique idea, and I never would have thought of that. And I think the interesting thing is that 99.9% of people who see this aren't going to understand it, but it's so cool as a concept, you know, that these two pictures are there on practically opposite sides of the world.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was, I love this thing. It was a great idea.
Yeah.
It was really
Maybe someday you'll have to visit Germany and see the other side of the portal.
I wish. Actually, funny thing is that these guys might come to Argentina next month. So maybe maybe I might not be able to go to Germany, but he might be able to see this place, like mine, like this side.
That's awesome.
Cool.
Funny thing.
Cool. That's really awesome.
I wanted to bring up one last piece, I think, because I think we're running up on time, but maybe not. Which is another collaboration that you did with the Resky.
Yes.
And I guess you taught him how to basically create this graffiti, and so you guys created this
Together.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that Twilight is so derp.
Yes. I had to paint something really like that. I love Adventure Time, and that kind of cow, I think it was. No, a horse it was actually.
Yeah.
I had to paint something like that. And yeah, about the Resky, he's actually the first brony that I met in real life. Because there is no bronies here where I live. So he found about me on the internet. We started talking and stuff. And he lives like, I don't know, like 6,000 kilometers far from me. He lives really far from me. And one day he came here to my city, and I taught him to paint. Then he started painting there on Buenos Aires, where he lives, and then he came up here again once, and we painted this.
Oh, that's really cool. Wow. So you kind of like showed him your secrets.
Yeah, something like that. And yeah, he painted a few times there on Buenos Aires too, which we were kind of afraid, because I mean, we know that this is kind of legal here in Argentina, but the thing is, my city is pretty calm and quiet, so it's like it's more normal that nobody really cares about it. But Buenos Aires has a lot more people and stuff, so we were like, oh, are you sure that you can do this? Are you going to get in trouble or anything? So he did, and it seems that it's pretty quiet too.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
So I also got to paint there on Buenos Aires too, so I kind of spread more ponies in more cities and stuff.
That's really cool. That's really cool. I think some of the most amazing stuff here is your work in progress shots that you have on your Facebook page. You know, because you can look at the end result and it looks really, really good, but then I think one of the coolest things is looking at what it started as and seeing how completely different it is. Because in a lot of these pieces, you paint the background as well. And so when you're done, it looks so clean, whereas when you started, it's not so much. It's really cool. So I guess in a way, you're kind of cleaning up the building's look.
Yeah, that's actually one of my first reasons why I started doing this. I wanted to cover all the, those tags and lines that doesn't look really well. Like it was more like besides the fun and everything, it was also like helping to make my city up maybe more beauty place or something. It was more. It was some kind of objective for me too.
Something cool that I just found on one of the comments on that one is one of your other journals, which has said that you can now go and look at this stuff on Google Street View.
Yes,
and you've tagged all the places where they are.
That's cool.
yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need a link for that right now.
I tried to get that to work, and I couldn't get it to let me look at the streets, but it was a sweet
It's
link
working
on
for
your
me.
Facebook there.
It's
Did you actually get on the streets?
Here's the
Um,
journal.
yeah, actually,
Let me-
I think the photo view it's kind of glitched or something. You have to use the map view to see them correctly. But then if you go to the other, I don't know, how is this called? Like when you can't see everything from the street. If you go to that mode, you can see everything pretty well.
Yeah.
And,
Wow, these are actually a lot closer than I thought. When I see all of these different locations, you never have any reference points, so I just assume that they're all over the place, but they're actually quite near to each other, I suppose.
yes, actually, my city is pretty small anyways. So, but another thing is that most of them are on my way from house to school.
Right.
So it's
right.
like I used to paint everything and just on purpose too, so I can see them pretty much every day. And that's pretty much it.
Wow. That's really cool. Have you become kind of like semi-famous there for having so many? Do people recognize your drawings around in the community?
Yes. A lot of. I mean, it has even happened. Like I go walking on the street with some funny stuff on me, and I hear someone behind me or something like saying, "Hey, that's how is this called? Wait, hey, there's the guy who paints ponies," and it actually happened. Like it's crazy. I was never expecting that, but it happened. And every time like people sees that I have something pony related on me, it's like, hey, they ask, "Hey, are you the guy who paints all the ponies on the street and stuff?" And it's always like that.
You, in your own way, have become horse famous. Yes, in your own town. It's
Very,
true.
very horse famous.
Awesome. It's a new kind of horse famous. I approve.
That's real life horse famous. That's not just internet horse
People
famous.
in your hometown are recognizing you as that like brony painting guy. Like that. That is a new level of horse fame. Congratulations.
All right. Well, we are running up on time when we're getting to the end of the show. So while we're on the topic of your Facebook, I think now would be a good time to let people know where they can find you online. So, the most obvious place is your DeviantArt, correct?
Yes.
So what would that be?
Yeah. Well, besides my DeviantArt, it will be. Actually, no. They only can find me on DeviantArt because I don't use any of them. But if anyone is interested, they can look at all my work in progress and stuff on my Facebook page, which is facebook.com/urban art crew. Or they can, or you can also go to Picarto channel, which is where we stream, and people can go and talk with us and have some fun and maybe request to draw the whole season and everything. They are all season.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. If you want to request done of your OC, oh gosh, we're gonna start. This isn't gonna be good.
Oh boy.
Be polite in the chat. Be polite. Only post your requests when we ask you to. So you've got a DeviantArt, you've got your Facebook, you've got the Picarto channel, which is actually Agamnensar's channel, right?
Yes, but it's it's like a Agamnensar channel, yeah. But it's the
that's
one
the name. The name of the
use.
channel is Agamnensar.
Yeah.
So that's where people can go for that stream. So
It's your guys' channel.
yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, we'll put up all those links on the screen for you there, so people can go and follow you. Don't you have a Tumblr as well? Sorry, I'm just thinking this.
Yeah, I do, but I don't use it that much.
Okay.
So it's like, it's not important. I mean, I don't post anything really important there.
Right. DeviantArt's the place to go. I like that. It's
Yes.
one place where you can go and find everything.
Yeah, I'm really active there on DeviantArt, so I respond to every comment and stuff.
Cool.
I'm gonna
Cool.
send you a note.
Well, thank you so much for coming on. It was a pleasure to have you, and thank you for sharing all of your fun graffiti art and stories with us.
Thank you for inviting me. It was really fun too.
No problem. Well, now that you've done your plugs, we're going to switch gears here, and we're going to do a little bit of our plugs too, if you don't mind. So, without further ado, take it away, Ted.
Me? Okay.
Unless Joel wants to do it, because I think last time I said that he got really offended.
Oh.
Yeah, it's my job.
Do it, Joel.
You complain about it every single week.
I
so-
believe in you.
Alright, well, I'm gonna do it. So,
Yeah.
we also have a DeviantArt account, which is cuteartcrusaders.deviantart.com. We have a Tumblr which gets used. It's cuteartcrusaders.tumblr.com. Well, air quotes used, I guess. We have a Facebook as well, which is Cutie Art Crusaders. We're on there. We're at Cutie Art Crusader on Twitter. We have Picarto. Google us to find us because Picarto links are long and ridiculously complicated.
And the two most important ones.
The email, which is cutieartcrusaders@gmail.com. And what am I missing?
The YouTube page, which is youtube.com/cutieartcrusaders. And if you're watching this on the live stream, make sure to go and subscribe to us there. And if you're watching this on YouTube and you haven't subscribed already, what are you doing?
And if you're on Picardo, you should totally subscribe to us on Picardo too.
Yeah. So all of that stuff will be on the screen. We are Cutie Art Crusaders wherever you can find us, other than Twitter, which is Cutie Art Crusade. So yeah.
Also,
Give us a like, leave a comment.
keep sending in your favorite moments.
Yeah. So we're still gonna slowly over time look for some favorite moments so that we can put them together at some point. We don't know when we're gonna do
We
it.
can do a montage.
But at some point, it's fun to look back, and so if you have a favorite moment from any of our episodes, old, new, whatever, send it in to us at cutieartcrusaders@gmail.com, and we'll put those together at some point. So it would be very much appreciated if you guys could do that. Yeah, but I guess that's everything for this week, so thank you.
Wait.
Why do you do this to me, Ted?
I do it every week. I'm
week.
sorry.
Every freaking week.
Every week. Next Saturday is Valentine's Day. So, happy
is.
Valentine's Day. And I don't really know if we have anything special planned for that, but maybe we'll do something Valentine's related for the next episode. Maybe.
Love us.
Yeah, maybe.
Here,
Yeah.
okay. So we're gonna have CAC Real Talk here for a second. Okay, so CAC Real Talk. We, from now on, are going to have a little section after the plugs where I ask, "Is there anything else that people have to say?" And in that section, you. All right. So
Wait.
the section. I'm gonna kill you. Go ahead. Yep. Yes. Is it nothing? Okay, great.
No,
I'll just okay, keep going.
we like to rustle your
after you.
jimmies.
Great. All right. So, thank you everyone for watching. Thank you Shinoda for coming on. You are a wonderful guest. I'm so sorry you had to sit through this stupid crap at the end. But thank you again for coming on. I hope you had fun.
Yes, it was a lot of fun. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Well, thank you, and thank you to the viewers, whether or not you're on Picarto or YouTube. We love you all the same. My name is Rainbow Plasma.
My name's Burned.
I'm FlutterGuy317.
And I'm at Muspark.
And
And, oh, me too?
yeah,
And I am Shinoda.
Yeah.
and we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.